And good morning and welcome to Your Vote Counts. I'm Scott Mitchell, Jon Echols, Jason Dunnington. And you know, for those of us who watch the financial pages, we watch what's happening economically around the country, around the world. In Oklahoma, there's an indicator this week, tax collections, and they're way up. What does it mean?
Yeah, well, something that a lot of viewers at home may not know is that our fiscal year starts on July the 1st. And so we just finished one. The state starts their new one July 1st. And what this is talking about is our collections from the last year, 22-23, were up above what we expected. Quite a bit, as a matter of fact, $1.6 billion above what was expected. And we're already looking at future projections for the 23-24 year that we just started, also having more money on hand. This is a good thing for the state of Oklahoma. It means our economy right now is stable. A lot of it has to do with the energy sector. Oil and gas prices still holding strong. That certainly helps our state's coffers in terms of tax dollars that are coming in and what we have available to spend.
Okay, that's Dr. Dunnington's take. Let's turn to our economic analyst and inflation expert, Jon Echols, and tell us what this means. Because, listen, you've been talking about inflation for years, even before it hit, and it says what?
Yeah, I was talking about inflation when everybody was telling me it didn't exist. So about 4 years on this TV show. Here's the reality. We are 21% above our revenue expectations for the year 2023. So I want to put that in perspective. We are 1/5 higher than we thought we were going to get, more than that in revenue. It means conservative policies are working. It means the economy is strong. Now the problem is, what's government going to do? Is it going to continue to sock all that money away and take it away from you, the citizens? Or are we going to look at other alternatives? Our savings accounts are absolutely maxed out. So what are we going to do with all this revenue that came from taxpayers, not from government?
The discussion of stimulus versus savings. So the governor is suggesting that there should be a special session, bring the legislature back, consider taxes. Your thoughts?
Governor's right on this. We have got to find a way to get tax relief. We talk about this all the time on this show. I continue to harp this. I don't understand why it has not been done yet. The House has passed it again and again. We need real tax relief for working Oklahomans. We can compromise. We can have triggers put in place. We can have ways where it will go away if the economy were to change. But right now, citizens of the state of Oklahoma, 21% above our estimate is what we received. There is no reason we shouldn't be giving some of that back in inflationary relief to the citizens. It baffles my mind that Republicans haven't been able to get it done.
Okay, so let's set the stage on this one. There are Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate, Democrats all have different views on this, but the House and the Senate are really the ones who are disagreeing, right?
Yeah, there's been disagreement on this, but here's the agreement. We've known that we were going to be above estimates for about a year now. This isn't anything new, the fact that we have this much more money. So if we were going to do the tax cuts that Republicans have been talking about, we should have done it back during legislative session. So to do a special session and spend extra money in the fall to do something that could have been done last year doesn't seem like a wise idea. I'd also say that the economy goes in ups and down swings, and we know that being a state that has so much oil and gas that can affect our economy. So what we should be looking at is perhaps doing a one-time or even a two-time rebate and give some of that money back. I believe taxpayers should have their money back, but doing tax cuts that could affect budgets 10 years from now just because we're in a high doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Thanks for attending Economics Today on Your Vote Counts. When we come back, I bet you're going to like the topic. And welcome back. All right, if you follow economic news, we talked about economics in the first segment. You saw this week where Disney at ESPN, they're getting big time into sports betting. Last week had Stephen Greetham on with the Chickasaw Nation talking about sports betting. It hasn't happened yet, but it looks like it's big business. It's headed our way. Is it or is it not, John, going to happen in Oklahoma?
You know, it is. That's another one, though, that I'm so disappointed it hasn't happened in Oklahoma. We have to find ways to keep the thunder. That's the reality. I'm a South Oklahoma City kid. I grew up in this city. I love this city. And what it has changed and what's been done is so good. And it's not just for Oklahoma City, by the way it helps Tulsa and the entire state. We have to have a way to keep it. So we're going to keep it one of two ways. We're going to supplement it with taxpayer dollars, which is the worst way, but that may be the way we do it. Or what we can do is bring in Sportsbook. It increases fan engagement. It brings in that Texas market. When you hear Sportsbook, what you should hear is thunder. It matters to all of Oklahoma, whether you're rural Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. We've got to find a way to get this done.
Professor, your thoughts about sports betting in Oklahoma?
Well, let's be clear. I don't think that we have to have Sportsbook in order to have the Thunder. Although I do think if we have Sportsbook, it will make it easier to keep the Thunder. Sportsbook is something that's already around. If you look at anyone under the age of 40, their cell phone, they've likely got an app on their phone that allows them to do Sportsbook of some kind around the country. We should be capitalizing on that. We should go ahead and make Sportsbook legal here in the state of Oklahoma, work with our tribal partners in order to do so. And I think we could do it in a way that's going to benefit both Oklahoma citizens and our love of sports. Okay,
which means that it's coming. All right, now, it's back to school time. So let's start off with the Cute Kids edition. Let's talk about a 2041 graduate. Oh. This is Violet, grandbaby number 2. Hit the ground this week. She'll be in our education system soon. Graduate 2041 will be headed to the University of Oklahoma when she gets out of high school. Now, Professor, let's talk a little bit about what's happening with children in Oklahoma all the way up to higher ed. You have some kids, Oklahoma City Public Schools. Take a look at them, all right? This is John. This guy's so proud of these kids right here. And they are in Oklahoma City Public Schools. And we've got a lot of people talking about higher ed. Education is a big issue going forward. Help us understand, for the father of kids in public schools, where we're headed and what's going to happen with higher ed.
Yeah, so I've got Luca and Petra, just saw them on the screen, junior and freshman, Oklahoma City Public Schools this week. To all of our teachers in both OKCPS, TPS, and all around the state, congratulations on your summer ending and being back in the classroom. We thank you for the work that you do, the hard work that you put in, our administrators, those that clean up after our kids at schools, all of them. Just excited to be back into school again this year. Look, Oklahoma can have a strong education system. We see that in our public schools. We've got a strong higher ed system. We need to continue to support that. We've talked a lot about having all this extra money. Let's do what we need to invest in our future. You've seen it on the screen. Now let's see it play out in reality.
Okay, and our last picture this morning is a little bittersweet. It's the Echols family taking their oldest, David, to the University of Oklahoma. Your thoughts about higher ed?
Well, this was bittersweet, and I know a lot of people are dealing with that with kids going back to school and us dropping our oldest, David. We have 2 more at home, but it was emotional. All of you at home that have had to do it, it's exciting to have them go out and fly, and it was great to be there with my wife as we dropped them off. But it made me think a lot about both my kids, your kids at home, your grandkids. We have to continue to invest in these children's future. We've done a great job in the legislature in Oklahoma over the last 8 years of really investing in common education. We need to set a vision for higher education. Whether you're talking about Oklahoma State University, the University of Oklahoma, Tulsa University, or any other great higher ed institutions in this state, we need to continue to set that vision, because at the end of the day, we do what we do for the next generation.
That's exactly right. And by the way, 2039, Atticus will be at the University of Oklahoma. So, hey, thanks for watching Your Vote Counts. See this again at news9.com/YourVoteCounts, news16.com/YourVoteCounts. Follow me on all my socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, @Mitchell Thomas.